So the current session is to discuss about the generic pharmaceutical industry expectations on ELN. So first I want you to go through about how the generic pharmaceutical industry will run actually. There are 5 pillars are there, like that is the time, cost, innovation, as well as data archival, retrievability. Okay, these are the 5 pillars. If we play on these 5 pillars, actually, we have to quickly complete the experimentation, R&D activities, then technology transfer activities, then followed by the lab validation, followed by the plant validations. Then we have to go for the filing of the product to the different regulatory agencies. So all the generic industries will play on the same role, okay? So in this, how the ELN will be helpful to delivering this cost? Means we have to, with respect to time, we have to decrease the time of experimentation. Then we have to decrease the cost of the experimentation. Then we have to increase the innovation flow and past. Then fourth topic is compliance. We have to ensure the compliance of the whatever the data we are creating from development to the manufacturing. Then data archival and retrieval and availability of the data. This is the major area now the current generic pharmaceutical industry is facing, and that is the area where the FDA comes into the picture and verifying the compliance of this thing. Okay? So this is the basic thing, how generic pharmaceutical industry, because generic pharmaceutical industry is the fast growing industry and the highly competitive industry. So the person means the industry which will come for the regulatory filing first, he will get the advantage in the different regulatory agencies. That's why these are the expectations to the ELN, and ELN is fulfilling all these expectations also with respect to current application. I want you to go through the first, what is the basic process development approach in the R&D. So whenever the new project is assigned or identified from BD team or project management team, it will be allotted to the one of the R&D teams. Then they will start evaluation of the literature search. Okay, once the literature search is completed, they will have different route of synthesis. Out of that, they will work on the optimized route of synthesis in the feasibility stage. They will go for minimum gram scale evaluation. Then they will go for the optimization phase. In the optimization phase, they have to play with the different variables of raw materials, reagents, and solvents, and they have to achieve the optimized cost for the optimization phase. Once the optimization is completed, then they will go for the lab validation in the R&D center. Once the lab validation is completed, we will get some picture. This process is being optimized, and then we have to go for the scale-up evaluation. During scale-up evaluation also, we will do the different experimentations with respect to scale-up troubleshooting. Scale-up troubleshooting is considered as, in plant scale, we will do the manufacturing at 1 to 10 times and 1 to 100 times, sometimes 1 to 1000 times also, okay? So this scale-up evaluation also, we have to do the experimentation in the R&D center, and we have to evaluate the risk of manufacturing in the large scale with respect to the safety and quality point of view. Then we will go for the engineering batches. Engineering batches in the sense, then we will go for the PSC studies, process safety evaluation studies, we have to do it in the R&D center. For all these studies, we will use now we are in a hard copy documentation, major in some of the industries, and some of the industries has been moved to the electronic laboratory record notebook. And as I have described, the 5 pillars, these 5 pillars are fulfilled, then it will be a very fast manner we have to manufacture and file the product in the different regulatory agencies. So this is again, I have mentioned in the earlier slide also, some of the things are same, like initial project identification, like feasibility optimization. Then we will go for lab validation at this lab scale, then technology transfer to the plant, and validation at the large scale in the plant. So why I have mentioned technology transfer in the plant to the plant team? To do the technology transfer to the plant team, we have to prepare the technology transfer documentation. Okay? Previously, we have to go for, if ELN is the platform is there, means we can get all the data in the single platform for the collection of the data and preparation of the technology transfer reports. Like you have to prepare the process optimization report You have to prepare the analytical development report and validation report. Okay. For these reports, if all the experiments data is available in a single platform means we can get all the information, we can prepare the reports very quickly, and we can transfer that technology transfer documentation to the plant in very fast manner. So then we will do the execution and the validation at the large scale in the plant. Then we will go for stability evaluation. Then we will file the product for different regulatory agencies based on the initial requirement and the plan. Once again, the detailed flow has been explained with respect to the expectations of ELN. Okay. So once the project is identified, we have to create the project. Okay. Project code we have to create. Then we have now, as a traditional approach, we have the document of request form to create the project form to the DQA, Development Quality Assurance Team. Okay. If the template is being kept into the ELN in a template form or any integration into the ELN, then there is no document required for the creation of the project code. DQA will assign the project code. Then we will go for the part of feasibility. Before start of part of feasibility, there is a raw material evaluation we have to do, and what are the equipments and instruments we have to evaluate. At that time, if the inventory is available in the ELN, then it will be very useful for the chemist to go ahead for the quickly to the next step, saying that, yes, I have these raw materials to start the reaction for the feasibility study, and these are the equipments or instruments. Majorly in R&D, it is not required. AR&D, they have to evaluate with respect to the different instruments and equipments, whether the instruments are calibrated or not. All the instruments are available, like inventory is available in the ELN, that will be useful for us. Okay. Okay, we have identified that these are the raw materials or list of raw materials or starting materials are required for the feasibility evaluation. Then we will go for what are the documents required to refer for that raw materials. Like we will take the raw materials from the different vendors. So different COAs will be there for the raw material COAs, and different ROAs will be there, and that material safety data will be there. These are the documents, hard copy documents. If these documents are all being available in the ELN with a single click, then the chemist will get some more time to go for the start of the experimentation. What is the traditional approach? Traditional approach is I have to go and find that what is the vendor, where is the vendor COA? Okay, I have to start that getting that MSDS, and I have to start that getting that ROS of that vendor COA. Then I have to collect all the information. Then I have to collate, evaluate. Okay, these are the work we have to do, because those documents are not available in a single platform to take the decision to the next step. In ELN, if it is available in the single click in the ELN, then we will go for faster way to go to the next step of start of experimentation. Coming into the start of experimentation actually. So R&D experimentation will be depend upon the different complex molecules of small molecules as well as complex molecules. Small molecules, we are all very well know about that one, and complex molecules also, anti-cancer products, peptides and oligonucleotides. So approach of experimentation write-up is different with respect to the complex molecules, with respect to peptides and oligonucleotides. So if the templates are readily available, pre-built templates are available in ELN, that will be helpful to go ahead for the next step. So once the experimentation is being started actually, so then the R&D chemist will draw the in-process evaluation TLC, thin layer chromatography TLCs. That templates are also, if available in the ELN, then he will draw the TLC evaluation, he will take a decision, and he will submit the sample to the next stage of submission of sample to the AR&D. Now, the current, as we are in a current traditional approach, so we will take one request form and we will write that I have to submit the sample for the HPLC analysis. If this template is available in like ELN, then he will submit the sample through AR&D, through ELN only. Then the sample request go to the ARD group leader. Then he will submit that again that request to the chemist who will do the analysis. So this all process, manual process will be digitalized, though then there will be a definitely time and cost reduction will be beneficial for the process development. Okay. Then chemist will do the analysis based on the request received through ELN from CRD to ARD, ARD to analyst. Then once the analysis has been completed, then again the review phase will come into the picture. So once the analysis is completed, review and verification of the analysis. Analyst has completed the analysis, then he has to submit the raw data to his group leader and as well as to the submitted person who is CRD person. So this verification process also, if it is integrated with respect to the ELN, then it will be very useful. The online, they will do the verification and they will give the conclusions. If any revert is required and rework is required, they will come back to the, in the single application only. So then the results, once the decision, verification, review and approval is completed in the same experiment, then the results will be released to the CRD person. Evaluation of CFT evaluation also will be done in the same way. Once the CRD person received the results, then he is ready to write the conclusion of the particular experiment and closure of the experiment. Once he has concluded the experiment, then he will go for quickly to the feedback. Means like I have done one experiment today with some optimization of volumes of reagents or raw materials or different kind of solvents. Then he will plan for next experimentation to go ahead for the way forward. So I want to share the message through this one actually saying that if all these dashboards are available in the ELN, then it will be easy for us to go ahead for the next stage of the process in quick manner and complete our process flow, okay, to reach our aim of filing. So I have explained the process of CRD. ARD process also been integrated in the same process only. Once the sample request has been received from the CRD, then ARD group leader has to raise the ATR. CRD raise the ATR, then ARD group leader has to assign to the particular chemist. Before that, he has to create the project, then create the experiment ARD group leader, then he has to assign to the chemist. Then again, chemist will do the analysis and results evaluation, review part, then it will be released to the CRD based on the results evaluation. So these are the templates are available, are integrated into the ELN. It will be very useful to the process development to go in the ARD. So this is the in detailed one with respect to project code creation in ARD. Okay. Once the sample request came from the CRD, we have to create the project code now. Again, there will be a traditional approach of form will be there. Instead of form, ARD group leader will create the project code and project experiment, then followed by analysis will be sequentially followed. Okay. Remaining flow is same, so I want to skip that one. This is also the same thing. Okay. So with respect to COA, Certificate of Analysis and Analytical Test Request. So in the initial phase of development like feasibility and optimization, initial optimization phase, we have that actually we don't have specification and STP in place. Okay. Especially in the feasibility phase, we don't have any specification, set specification to test that one. This is the acceptance criteria for the test. So how to go ahead for that one actually? So we are submitting sample for DNMR, IR, HPLC and different analysis. Then we will collate all the information into the single platform with respect to the batch number against the AR number. If it is a COA, at the time of COA, you will have the specification and STP in place. Means different industries are following different scenarios like we can prepare the specification, tentative specification at the time of feasibility only. But to go ahead for the feasibility phase, without specification and STP in place, that the data mining will be happened with respect to the batch number only instead of the AR number of the particular COA. So this is I have given one example. So these are the templates are required and means like required for the working standard and reference standard evaluation. Like we have to prepare for this is certificate of analysis template. If it is available in the ELN or integrated into the ELN, then it will be useful for generation of the COAs and ATRs in the same platform. Okay. COA, and this is the working standard, reference standard registers like inventory. So working standard, reference standard inventory, if it is integrated into the ELN and it is available in the ELN, then it will be useful for us that what are the standards which we have been used, how much quantity has been used, and what is the retest period of that particular standard. If it is automatically updated in that, then we will get the alerts and we will also be activated in saying that when we have to go for the retest and the particular standard is expiring, how much quantity is available, and we have to wake up and we have to do the experimentation and generate the particular reference standard and working standards. So these are the reconciliation registers required in ELN to be integrated in the ELN, either in the template format or in the inventory part, it will be useful for the process chemist to take forward to the next step in a fast manner. This is the reference standard, working standard, quantity and validity details record. So I have described in detail about CRD, means like chemistry research and development actually. So this is the ARD workflow on different templates requirement. Okay. Once the sample is being received, in ARD, there is a different documentation will be flow. Once the sample been received from the CRD, ARD person has to invert that sample in a particular register. Okay, that is a form again. It's a traditional approach form. If it is made into the template form and integrated into that experiment ELN, single ELN experiment, then this form will be eliminated, like sample invert and assigning AR number, analytical request number will be there. Okay, tracking number, unique tracking number. If it is assigned through ELN, then we will go ahead to the next step very quickly and like include the respective tests and assign to the different ARD group leaders, again assigning to the different chemists. Then what are the useful information with respect to that analysis, like if spec and STP is available on hand in a ELN experiment, then the chemist will take that opportunity, will refer that specification and STP and the required information of safety evaluation of that analytical experiment also, then he will go ahead quickly. Rather than he's going and checking the hard copy of specification and STP. If the specification and STP in a single click is available in the ELN, then he will refer that one and they will go for the next stage of the process. As the input is completed, then we will go for the during analysis. During analysis, what are the different type of documentation is involved, like mobile phase preparation, sample preparation details, okay, and again standard and sample and impurity details. So we have templates are already available in the ELN saying that what is the mobile phase preparation template. If template is already available, then he will do the copy paste of majorly in mobile phase preparation and sample preparation details. Sometimes means not all the cases, only we can do the copy paste from the different templates and we will change the product name and quantity details. Then we can use the same template to go ahead for the next step very quickly. That will be useful for the chemist who is working on the bench. Okay. Then we have to know that the status of the work, what is the work, means status of the work also, if it is dashboard wise, it is disclosed, means that it will be helpful for the ARD group leader as well as CRD team. Okay, information related to the columns, reagents, impurity availability and resources conditions, like it's called again inventory. If this inventory is available, then group leader will come to know that he can start initially the planning of the ARD experimentation, like what are the columns are required, whether it is available or not, what are the reagents are required, what are the impurities are required, part of system suitability and spiking studies of experiments in the ARD. Okay. Then trending of data, means trending of data in the sense, what are the previous incidents are happened and what are the previous deviations and OSs are happened during the analysis of the maybe commercial products. Means generic products, generally what we will do, we will take for the optimization, again optimization for the cost reduction. If the trend is available in the single click in the same experiment, or maybe in the different experiments with the project code identification, it will be useful for the ARD group leader to take the decision in which way he has to go forward, either he has to change the method and conditions of the experiment or not. That will be useful for that one. Then comes into the closure of that reporting of the results, like reporting in the sense processing of the chromatograms and calculations with respect to different Excels. If validated Excel is available in the ELN, then it will be useful for that to do the calculations and reporting of the results is helpful to the chemist. Then complete the reporting of the raw data with calculations and share the data to the supervisors for review and reporting to the CRD. Archival of the raw data and results, as we have discussed, means all this data has to be archived and it should be available at all the times for the required persons only. This has to be integrated into the ELN with respect to the categorization point of view, like supervisor, chemist, with respect to roles and categorization point of view. Okay. So these are the dashboard requirements we have been described actually. maybe required for implementation plan of integration plan actually. Okay. Next slide, I think it is better to view this one actually. What are the samples are received? Okay. What are the samples are under progress? What are the samples are being completed for analysis? This will be very useful for the particularly CRD and ARD persons. Then they will come to know that planning of next experiment and closure of the particular experiment and feedback of that experiment also. Okay. This is the request to the ELN team, to Revity team, and to that dashboard requirement in the ELN. Okay. So these are the major expectations and advantages we are looking from the compliance and regulatory point of view. Okay. So compliance is the major thing where the ELN also comes into the picture actually. Data authenticity, okay, and accuracy and trustworthiness is required as part of 21 CFR Part 11 compliance. So data authenticity in the sense whatever the data is generated with respect to date, times and signature kind of thing. So when it is generated, what time, who has generated the data, and whether it is complete data or incomplete data, that is required to go ahead for the next process development approaches. So, and audit trail for the creation, modification, review and approval of the records. This is the major requirements from the compliance point of view. It is available in the ELN, okay. Enforcing timely electronic signatures by authors, reviewers and approvers. Controlling the data access with username and password combinations. Required to have email alerts and role-based configuration security. That is on need basis. Not every experiment required to give an alert with respect to email and message kind of thing, okay. Application should be 100% configurable and required customization to the lab flow and IP and security needs. This is very basic thing, not basic thing, it is required mandatorily. These are the expectations and key advantages looking from the R&D and ELN. So major area actually, traceability and easy access of experimental results to reduce the time to prepare the technology transfer documents. This is only the area. Actually, we are working on that one. We have to quickly complete the mining of the data and using the existing data, and we have to prepare the technology transfer reports. Quickly, we have to transfer to the plant, then we have to manufacture and file the products. And tracking required for key information such as project name, author. These are like metadata. Project name basis, I have to search the data, and author basis and experimental method, date and other key words we have to use and do the data mining. Required to have option for cloning of experiments, like it is more or less like copy paste of this previous experiment, change of optimization conditions, and we'll go for the next. Not required to write the chemist to the entire preparation of the procedure actually. Essential to manage the data in a traceable manner. The data should be maintained in a contemporaneous way. It is very important. Okay, Alcoa basis, that is required as a mandatory thing. First of all, actually protection and storage of intellectual property in electronic format with date, time and signature stamp. So we are all going into the ELN, the basic concept is a protection of our science data, means our experimental data. We are claiming that I have done this experiment or innovation with respect to different industries, and we will do for IP filings also. That is the protection we required. That is why security also required, we are expecting from ELN team, like our data will not go into any other streams and industries. In the general category, so there are different requirements are all there, like required pre-built data templates from the R&D and analytical R&D. It is available already, but with respect to different research point of view, like biological R&Ds, I worked in biological R&Ds also. I worked in different streams like CRO I worked, and synthetic R&D, I am basically synthetic R&D chemist, then I moved to the quality and compliance part. So synthetic R&D is different, then peptide chemistry is different, then biological R&D is different. There are different templates is required for R&D and AR&D. Okay, if pre-built data templates are available and we can configure with respect to the user requirement, then it will be useful for us to go ahead for the next step in a quick experimental way. Required to have easy searchable and keywords, this we have already discussed. Required to have inbuilt data analytics for tracking the purity and yield details of respective stage and product. Not only the purity and yield, I have given some example here actually. Pre-built data analytics is the major requirement we are looking for the report preparations. I have all the data, but I have to prepare the report and I have to summarize the report and I have to take decision from my seniors and to go ahead for the next stage of experimentation. and do the technology transfer. So for that pre-built data, inbuilt analytics is required for that one. This is the request to the ELN team. Okay. So drag and drop required in the ELN application. It is available, and bidirectional data exchange integration to the other systems like Empower connected systems. Configuration, connectivity, and collaboration of the instruments to the ELN is also very important. That is also in a cost-effective manner it is required. There are different tools are available in this industry, as we have described from morning onwards. I have listened from many examples like integration of instruments. Yes, there are many options are available. The cost-effective manner is required. We have all the options are available. When it is not cost-effective, then particularly in the generic industry, they will not give scope to go ahead for the next step. The option should be required in a cost-effective manner, then they will choose for this one, and they will go for the integration of that instrument to this one. Particularly we are facing the challenge with respect to the weight slips, as well as how to attach the weight slips to the ELN experiment, then as well as pH records, pH reading records of that one actually, how to attach to the ELN. There we are seeking some good help from the ELN team and from others also, who are all there from the different vendors in the digitalization approach. So this is all my presentation. Thanks for giving opportunity, Revity team, as well as Dr. Gopal Vaidyanathan sir, and all the audience also. Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thank you.